And away we go.
Alright, so, what's been happening?
Well, where do I begin? It's been a while since we've recorded an episode.
Yeah, it has. I was wondering why.
Well, as of this recording, for the last few days, it was my final week at the Trap. If you know, you know. And I was watching other people's shows because that's part of the script for the world media. And well, not part of the script, but is at least preparing for what is yet to come.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's why there haven't been any episodes being recorded recently.
Okay, gotcha.
But now it's all over. We're back to schedule.
Cool. Oh, I thought just something was done. Okay, I thought something else was up. But alright, yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right.
Anyways, what do we have in the news today?
Well, let's see. So Donetsk demands a referendum.
Hmm, interesting. What's that about?
It's a video that risks dissent in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the description of that YouTube video reads,
Well, I will say this. An independent republic, hmm, I do wonder if they can handle being an independent republic, ultimately.
yeah, that is a good question. Now, although there are other nations of a similar size and possibly population, do they have the infrastructure to sustain themselves?
That is the question that is the question we should all beg. Do they
Yes.
have everything in place to sustain themselves? And if so, how long can they sustain themselves with what they have? And will they eventually need to go out of their own, like, go out of their own, bubble to, seek help? And if so, who would they seek help from? Will whoever they seek help from make them compromise in certain things? Want demand? Well, I'll be honest. When it comes to certain things, yes, demands have to be made on both sides. So that makes a lot of sense. But the real
Yes.
question is, they're independent now. They have to rely on themselves in order to, take care of their people. Otherwise, they just have to ask for help. Like most people do. But, you know, ultimately, how long can they sustain that?
Yeah,
Will they be,
that's very true.
yeah, will they be able to sustain themselves for, about the next decade, couple of years to decades? Or will they, within a year? I would hope it wouldn't be the case. That'd be a little embarrassing. I hope they'd be able to sustain themselves for like a couple of decades, centuries, forever. But yeah, but regardless, let's see. We're gonna hope that they do well, and we're gonna hope that they thrive. Because you know we wouldn't want anybody to fail or die. You of anything, we want people to succeed. Ultimately speaking.
Absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, uh, all in all, I hope they do well. I don't think I'd have a reason to want them to do horribly. So yeah, it's like I just hope they do well. I hope they know what they're doing. And I hope they have competent leaders who know what they're doing as well. Otherwise, yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, the rest of the people are screwed.
That's very true.
Yeah. So, is there anything else in the news?
So, a couple of weeks ago, I don't remember when it was, I saw a video on TikTok asking people to contact their local MPs regarding blockchain and crypto assets. I did just that. I went to a website where I submitted my local details about the constituency I'm from. So, an email under my email address with a generated message that's already pre-made is sent to my local MP, asking them to give their response regarding blockchain and crypto assets. Yes.
I will say this: crypto is definitely becoming something to a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I forgot what the business was called, but on a I saw on Twitter where dang, I forgot this lady's name. I actually follow her. I think her name is hold on, let me get her name. I think she posted a video. I'm pretty sure it was most likely a sponsored video, whatever. Oh yeah, Valentina Gomez, I think that's her name. Yeah, she posted a video with her paying, paying for like this restaurant, paying for food from this restaurant with crypto. And I think she was one of the first ever people to do it. One of the first people to do it. I forgot what the restaurant's called, but yeah, it's like yeah, she was paying for crypto, and I'm like, dang, I'm like, we're really making crypto, we're really doing this, we're really making crypto. Oh, it's called Steak and Shake, and it's like, yeah, I guess they're the first people to like, officially use crypto as a currency to pay for food. Huh. All right, so we're really doing this. We're really making crypto like normalized, like to pay for food, and that I'm like, all right, it's fine, it's whatever, because ultimately a lot of people are gonna end up using crypto in the future anyways. But I do wonder though. This is what I wonder. There are robbers who like money. Well, all robbers like money, but still, how how would that work? I mean, like, would would somebody just? I'm saying like in terms of wanting to rob someone in public, how would that work? Would somebody say like, put your hands up, and now take your phone out, and then like, go to your crypto app and like, give me all the crypto you have? Is that how robberies are gonna work in like, in the next couple of years? When eventually, and unfortunately, when the dollar becomes useless.
Well, if I'm being honest, I think such a process like that, it's too complicated, it's too social. I think what they would do is they will get creative with this. They might actually have some kind of advanced technology where they could actually access, not now, but maybe in a few years or decades, maybe some robbers might have the technology to digitally take money out of people's accounts, whether it be fiat money or crypto.
You know, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, I will say this though, they'd have to be pretty really smart robbers to do that. Yeah, that makes more sense, honestly. I think that's how the new robbers are gonna like operate. I'm 100% certain that they're mainly gonna be Gen Z robbers. Like, older school robbers, if we're even gonna call them that, the old school robbers are gonna like, fizzle out, die out, retire. So yeah, it's like yeah. No, actually no. I'm 100% certain it's gonna be Gen Alpha who like breaks that in. Gen Z will probably somewhat do it, but they won't do it very much. But it's like Gen Alpha, yeah. I would say like there's definitely gonna be for people who were born in that generation, the generation after Gen Z, they're gonna be robbing people. And hey, there's nothing you can do to stop it. So probably report it to the authorities. But yeah, it's like man, things are changing. It's like man, it's like it's still really weird that it's like we're the adults. It's still weird that like I was born 2002. It's like man, it's like I'm used to being. Well, I mean, I've been an adult for 5 years, so it's not that weird. But it's like it's weird seeing people who were born in like 2007, 2008, like either being adults or almost being or like close to adulthood. It's just weird. I don't
Yeah,
know.
time
It-
moves by very fast.
It's definitely something, but you know, can't say it's a midlife crisis because it's just life. You know, people they're gonna be kids, they're gonna be adults, they're gonna be old, they're gonna be you know old people, and then they're just gonna be flat out senior citizens. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This is unrelated, but I've always made this joke. I'm like, if I ever did go bald on the top, for the first couple of decades, I'll like shave my head. I'll shave my head bald. But it's like if I'm like when I'm 80 or 90, I'm going bald. I'm just not gonna care because I'm just old. Like it's not like I'm trying to attract anybody in the dating market. I don't know. But like that's unrelated. But yeah, anyways, as for crypto, yeah, it's pretty much gonna be something big.
Yes, it's going to be the future of how we handle and use money to pay for stuff.
Yeah, I just wonder if a lot of people. Well, actually, no, it doesn't even matter who agrees with it because it's the future. I mean,
It's
they're
going to happen at
replacing.
some point.
Yeah, it's gonna happen at some point. Yeah, just like they're replacing Metro cards with something called the Omni card in New York. It doesn't matter who doesn't like it. My mom doesn't. My mom doesn't like it either. My mom doesn't like it. My sister doesn't like it. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it, but it's like I don't. I just prefer the Metro card because it's like I don't know. At least you can. At least when you pay, you can kind of see how much left is on the card. So it's like with the Omni card, it's like you have to go straight to the machine. It's like you can't even see how much left is on it. It's definitely something to adjust to. But yeah, it's like no matter how I feel about it, no matter how anybody else feels about it, it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's either adapt to change or somehow find a way to move out from the change you have to adapt to, so that you don't have to completely adapt to it, if that's even possible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else in the news?
Billy Joel, diagnosed with brain disorder, cancels all upcoming concerts.
Oh wow, that's terrible news. He
Yeah.
said he canceled his upcoming concert because of his brain disorder.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's very unfortunate. Um, I would hope that I would hope that like he gets that. I would hope that he gets that. He makes a full blown recovery, and I would hope that that does not hold him back doing any more concerts in the future. 'Cause, especially with him, I'm pretty sure his fan base are like giving him his condolences and prayers to his family and to him especially. Um, yeah, does the article say anything else?
Yes, it does. So just gotta scroll back to it.
Okay.
Billy Joel, age 76, cancelled all upcoming concerts on May 23rd, 2025, following a diagnosis of normal pressure hydrocephalus. He initially postponed shows for 4 months after surgery as recent performances worsened symptoms affecting his hearing, vision, and balance. Following medical guidance, Joel is receiving targeted rehabilitation treatments and has been instructed to avoid performing while he recuperates. Joel conveyed his regrets about having to let down his fans and expressed gratitude for their patience, highlighting his focus on recovering his health. Ticket holders will receive automatic refunds, and the cancellations imply a pause in Joel's touring while he focuses on full recovery.
Well, once more, the guy's in his 70s, so I do hope that he does make a full blown recovery. But yeah, like for the most part, for now, he should rest. And then I'm pretty sure his fan base are keeping him in their prayers and condolences. And yeah, it's just very unfortunate, but you never really know what can happen. These things happen, so like these things happen. Not all the time, but like just you know, to some people. And I just wish nothing but the best from him. I do. It's like, he has my condolences.
Yeah,
Yeah, because no one could have to deal with that. You know, so it's not beyond our control. But yeah, pray for a speedy recovery. But yeah, but is there anything else in the news?
Canadian government has to allow home prices to fall to make housing more affordable.
Okay, okay. I mean, you said they have to make housing more affordable.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing. I mean, hey, housing definitely does need to be more affordable for the most part, because like most people are not able to afford the housing in this economy. Is there anything else in regards to that?
Yes, housing experts in Ottawa debate whether home prices must fall to restore affordability for Canadians as of May 23rd, 2025. Mike Moffat estimated that if home prices remain constant and wages increase by 3% annually, it would take about 18 years nationwide and approximately 25 years in Ontario and British Columbia for housing affordability to reach the levels seen in 2005. Moffat and economist Marsh Lander warn that development will halt if building costs don't drop and prices stagnate, despite government efforts to increase supply. Moffat emphasized that all levels of government should prioritize strategies to lower the expenses involved in building homes, while Lander pointed out that such measures would likely face resistance from homeowners.
Well, I would say for the most, I would say that's good news because at least someone is finally saying something about it. I would say I hope that the homes can like become more affordable from here on out. Because, yeah, I remember when our great 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 grand grandparents used to be able to afford housing. I don't remember that, but I'm pretty sure someone in my family who's probably no longer here most likely remembers with something like that. And yeah, just in general, it's like yeah, a lot of things used to be affordable, but obviously the economy, the times we live in, certain things are needed, which is probably why certain things are expensive. So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, because people demand certain things so much, yeah, it just seems like more of a, like, it's like a need than a, want. So, ultimately speaking, you have to just look at it that way. I'm not gonna lie, actually, I'm not gonna lie. There was this one lady who was from Germany who was at He said that things were cheaper in Germany, or at least because because I was renting out like a bike for her. And she said like I think she said it was like only $8 to rent out a bike where she was at. Like,
Wow, impressive.
yeah, that's a pretty good price. And she said she was from there, and I'm like, wait, is she German or did she move to Germany specifically, then just come back to visit the United States? I'm under the assumption that she just came back to visit the park that we were at, that I was at, then she just came back to Germany. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe it was better. Maybe she moved there because it was better living conditions and probably more affordable there too.
Yeah, honestly, I would rather go to Germany than be here in the UK, because at least, well, again, Germany has its own problems too, but I'd rather take German problems than British ones. And yeah, that is actually saying something.
Yeah, man, that's that really is saying something, man. That's how you know, like the state of the UK is not good. So that is saying something.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you're right. Germany definitely does have its own problems, but it probably isn't as bad as like the UK problems. So,
yeah,
you know, they have like they probably have more like redeeming like redeeming aspects and features to them than like the UK, I presume.
yeah. And is a massive contributor to the EU. So, and being in Germany, you can pretty much enter any other country in Europe mostly without having to go through any border checks. So another 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 win in terms of just traveling and going places.
That's true. That's true actually. That's true. So oh yeah. Oh sorry, I was looking at something. Yeah, that's technically true. So it's like, hey, I will say this, man. Just go wherever the redeeming features are at. Just go wherever it's better to live. And clearly that woman saw that it was Germany. You know what? I'd say go. I'd say like if that's the case, then yeah, go for it. That's all you can really do. Sure. I'll be honest. I would love to stay in New York, not the city, just the state New York. But if I can't find anything remotely good in New York, then I'd have to I'd have to move to another state. I'm probably not gonna leave the United States. I would like to travel out of the United States, but I don't think I'd move out of the United States. I would just try to go to like a different state where it's cheaper and more affordable to live. And yeah, but yeah, it's like I would like to find one redeeming feature in New York, but if I can't find anything, I would love to stay in New York because New York is a good state. It's just the city that's expensive. Probably other places too. Mainly.
Yes.
So it's like, I'd visit the city. If I had kids, I would like, if I had kids, I'd make sure that they know the city, the city aspect of New York. I just wouldn't live out here. I'm like, you know, they ask me, hey, Dad, why don't we live out here? I'm like, it's expensive. I mean, when you get older, you can probably live out here. But now we're gonna live in this wherever we're at there. Like I'd probably rather drive uh, multiple places or even walk to the places I need to in order to get food and like just arming a leg on certain things. I'd have to adjust to that. I am used to walking to a lot of places. So, yeah. But I probably could though. Yeah. But yeah, I just hope that things. Yeah, I just hope that things like get better. Like from a perspective of like affordable housing.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
UN dystopia unveiled 15-minute cities to cage your freedom.
Hmm. Okay. Sounds interesting. What's that about?
Okay, so a video from Illuminati Bot revives the UN's 1976 Habitat 1 plan as modern 50-minute cities. 1,221 views in hours as commentators liken it to a frog in boiling water trap. References to Brookfield real estate and Carney's green mandates fuel fears of corporate state collusion.
Wow. Very, very odd. Very strange. Very interesting also. Do you have any initial thoughts on that?
Yes, I will say, although I'm not against having the integrations of having the convenience to travel within the city or to other neighboring cities, but to have limits on who can leave those cities, that's my concern. Because it's just essentially a cage where you're just living your life as if nothing ever happened. But of course, the only difference is there is some physical barrier that you cannot pass through unless there are certain requirements or permissions that you've been given that allows you to even leave in the first place.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Huh. Montage of JoJo Siwa being straight is going viral. Why is that going viral?
She's
Of Jo
she's a
of
lot.
JoJo
She's all over the place now.
of her being straight?
Oh yeah, because actually, I don't have anything concrete for that, but I think ever since after her appearance on Celebrity Big Brother, she's getting a lot more attention now.
I will say this though. I will say this though. Because I think she like, I think she like profited off it, not profited, but she like made the world know that she was lesbian. So this is probably why that's the case. That her being straight is going viral because you know. So you know, I mean, hey, that's good. It's good though. I mean, like she's you know, relationship. I'm not really sure. It's nice. Hope if it's a relationship, I hope they last. Beautiful. But yeah, it's like it's, sorry, I completely got distracted off of that. What were we talking about again?
We were talking about 15-minute cities and the Habitat 1 plan from the UN in
Oh yeah,
1976.
oh yeah, right. 15-minute city. Yeah, I'll be honest. It's just definitely something interesting,
Yeah.
and it's very hard. And this happened in the 90s too. That's crazy. Oh, man, I will say this though. So much truth is being leaked at this point. I don't think they're trying to censor it. It's like they're just letting people leak it. It's just
Yes,
like,
because it's the universal law. If you warn people before it happens, then the people that listen to the message is at fault for not taking action sooner. But if people aren't aware of that, then the person responsible for such risks are at fault for not warning people that something like that is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the most part, which is why celebrities for a long time have been telling us, even if we didn't realize it back then, in code what they were doing and who they are. So it's like, yeah, so like they just it was up to us to like realize that. And if we didn't realize that, it was our fault. But if we did realize that and we still didn't do anything about it, it's still our fault. But if we realized it and told people and even then they didn't realize it, that's their fault. We knew who they were. We knew what they were about. So it's like, in a way, it's regardless, they try to find a way to make it our fault because they do tell us these things.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
But they
and
tell it as a joke because if people play it off as a joke, then not many people will take that seriously.
that's true. Not a lot of people will take it seriously, but they're able to clear their conscience because look, as sick as these people are, they have a conscience. They do probably. I don't know if they necessarily feel guilty about it.
Probably not.
Yeah. However, they do have a conscience in their head where they're like saying, maybe we should kind of tell them, in a joking manner, so it's like they can kind of know, but they don't know. Like pretty much they play it off as sarcasm or just a joke to laugh at, and then when it happens, they're like, well, "We told you." Their conscience is clear. Their conscience is clear because yeah, they have a conscience. I will say that they're humans. They have consciences. They're just sick individuals. That's about it. Who do sick things, and they know they are.
They sure do.
So it's like, yeah, it's up to us to like realize what they're saying and what they're doing. Because ultimately speaking, man, it's like, yeah, it's like no one else is gonna tell us. They're definitely not gonna tell us. So, well, I mean, they do tell us, but it's like, but it's just we have to realize we have to realize that things happen for a reason, and they say certain things for a reason, and do certain things for a reason. So yeah, sorry, I was looking at something. But yeah, that's that's all I have to say about that. And let's see if I can think of anything else. No, yeah, it's like pretty much I believe it's called karmic retribution. So it's like yeah, they let us know in a way where you can just laugh it off and just ignore it until it happens or until you find out about it.
Possibly.
Yeah, but yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Yes. They came from thousands of miles apart to DC and found love. Then tragedy struck.
Oh, sounds interesting. Sounds like I'm not gonna lie. Sounds like Love Island. I'm gonna be honest with you, kinda. But anyways, what was the tragedy that struck?
On Wednesday evening, gunman Elias Rodriguez fatally shot Israeli embassy staffers Yaron Leshinsky, 30, and Sarah Milgram, 26, near the Chapel Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. The shooting occurred as Leshinsky and Milgram were leaving a gathering organized by the American Jewish Committee, where young professionals discussed collaboration among different faiths to provide humanitarian assistance to Gaza.
Hmm. Okay, so it was like a Christian and like Jewish like gathering, something like that.
I'm mostly hearing something Jewish gathering from that story because
Gotcha. All right. Cause I'm not gonna lie. I would say like the only cause I would say like the only group that I would see like kind of collaborating with like Jewish people are like Christians, cause yeah, Torah, New Testament. Although they don't believe in the Torah, although they don't believe in the New Testament, yeah, because it's like there are some Christian groups, and there are some like Jewish groups that do work together in a way. So. But yeah, was this? Does it like give a description of the gunman? I would assume they're either an Islamic extremist or a person who just supports Gaza in general, like a regular person, average Joe who just supports Gaza.
let's gotta find which story best would best describe it. Okay. Report claims as two Israeli embassy employees were killed in a tragic DC shooting incident on Wednesday night. Let's see. However, officials are yet to confirm the identities of the victims.
Okay. Okay, interesting. I will say this, man. It's like, look, no matter what disagreements you have with a specific group of people, it's not. Why would you shoot them? That just makes you look terrible. That just makes you look terrible. Makes you look
Yeah,
much worse, actually.
exactly.
I mean, like, bro, it's like, look, I get it. You don't like Israel. You don't like the Jews, and I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, in the beginning, it was interesting to talk about it, but it's like now it's like, all right, bro. It's like, all right, man. It's like,
A line has been crossed here somehow.
right, exactly, exactly. A line has been crossed, and it's like, bro. It's like, okay. It's like there are people who just simply disagree with what they're doing, but don't hate like the whole Jewish race because of it. And there are people who just not only disagrees with what they're doing, but as a but as like an extension, they hate the whole Jewish race. I'm like, bro, it's not necessary. It's like, why? It's like I get it, but at the same time, bro, it's not so serious to the point where it's like you would hate a whole race of people just because you disagree with an ideology. I mean, like, I would say, like, if there's an Islamic extremist, you would complain that I'm Islamophobic, but yet you can pretty much be like, a person who hates like, a whole race. So you shouldn't really claim on to, like, Islamophobia then, if you're an Islam extremist. And but if you're just a regular person and you're just like hating on another group because, well, they're doing something to another group, which I don't condone, obviously. But also, it's like, you can see both sides.
Yeah,
You can see both sides. It's like both sides are doing wrong, and that's why I don't support either side. I just want the war to stop in general.
I, so do I.
But yeah, it's like, for the most part, yeah, just end it, just end it, cause I know it's not gonna end anytime soon, obviously, but it just has to end because it's like, bro, it's like, I don't know, or just the soldiers just need to take a stand on both sides and stop fighting one another and actually think. But yeah, that would do something, but I know it's not gonna. That would be something revolutionary, actually, if all soldiers on both sides just stopped and think. Them like, and they're saying, what are we doing? Why are we killing one another? Huh? Nice. But anyways, yeah, it's like, they would really just think back and say, like, why are we doing this? Why are we killing one another? We should be, like, working together to, like, stop this war, etc., etc., etc. They just actually use their brains. That's all you need to do. Just use your brain. Put the weapon down. Put the gun down. And use your brain. Huh. Okay. Well, Big Mouth has ended after 8 years, and I never really watched that, anyways. I didn't know it went on for that long.
Well, neither do I, but, well,
I
I'm always hearing. I do, at some point, I do hear about it, but, yeah.
I personally thought it ended sooner. I don't know. It just didn't seem like a show that could last 8 years. But then
So here
again,
we are.
it is a cartoon. So wait, Michael Jackson's biopic will most likely be delayed to 2026. Huh. Okay. But yeah, the war has to end, and that's all I got to say about that.
Me too.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
China criticizes US ban on Harvard's international students.
No. Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I was about to be sarcastic and say that, but it's like, and say something, but it's like, yeah, let's get into it.
the Trump administration announced on Thursday a ban on international students from Harvard University, sparking concern among affected communities. This action follows long-standing tensions over Chinese students studying in the United States and previous visa restrictions, with Indian authorities still assessing the impact. Harvard enrolled 6,703 international students in 2024, including 1,203 from China and 788 from India, while 2 Hong Kong universities offered support to displaced students. Mao Ning, spokesperson for China's foreign ministry, criticized the United States for politicizing educational ties, warning that such behavior could harm America's reputation and standing globally.
I will say this, as for my brethren and sister and brothers and sisters from India and from China. Honestly, I'll be honest. I don't really see the big problem with them just coming to study. In the United States, they clearly just want a higher education. Now, obviously, yeah, it's whatever. It's patriotism, and wanting the country to remain this, that, etc. One side mainly says they just want the country to remain white, and those types of people, and just people or just other people in general wanting the country to remain American, unless you're a legal citizen. But the second one I get. But it's as for just banning international students who just want a higher education and want to make themselves proud or their parents proud. I don't know. It's I would say that they deserve to stay here at least for the education, and maybe as they're staying in the United States, they can work on their visa then. But it's as for I don't see a reason why you should ban international students from achieving a higher education. I don't see the problem. I mean, at my job, it's I saw a couple days ago, I saw this very nice Indian couple. I was tending to them, is but they were nice for the most part. The girl, the girl and the guy, they never rented out a bike, so they were just a delight to talk to. And on top of that, I really have no reason to really hate on a person wanting to come to the United States to either study or to even stay. Obviously as long as as long as they're legal, but at the same time, I don't really get too mad. I no longer really get too mad if a person flees from a country for a specific reason. Now, obviously, yes, there's so many things that can go wrong with that. There's so many things that can go wrong. But ultimately speaking, if a person comes to the country wanting to give their children a better life, then I can't hate on that. I can't. Yeah, so it's I would say as for the education, yeah, I don't think there should be a compromise somewhere. Definitely, there should be a compromise somewhere when it comes to international students. But ultimately, it's it should just there should just be a both all three sides, United States, China, and India, should come to an agreement somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know where, but they should come to an agreement somewhere. But yeah, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. Is there anything else in the news?
Yes, Apple's AI smart glasses to arrive in 2026.
Okay, that's not really much of a surprise. I mean, Apple, it was gonna come eventually, but it's just confirmed to be a year. So
Yes.
looking for, well, I'm
No. I said no. Yes.
but yeah, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't have any strong opinions about Apple or just the smart glasses that they say they'll sell. I just, so what? Same old, same old. Apple's gonna come up with some new products in the next few years just to ensure that it remains relevant to the tech space.
Yeah, I mean, Apple. I'm not gonna lie. I remember when buying an iPhone, or another product from there used to be interesting. Now it's just boring. It's why should I care about this product? You're not really doing anything different. I mean, shoot, I'll be honest. Yeah, you're not doing anything different with the phones. I would say something revolutionary in terms of phones would be if we can just see through it completely. while also still being able to like. I think there are certain shows, where it's like you can kind of just text and you can kind of just see through the phone and all that stuff. But also, I think what would make Apple very interesting is if you were somehow able to, I don't know, do something with the actual name. I don't know, like make a limited edition like iPad or something, maybe like in the shape of an apple. Huh? You think that would work?
Well, there's one way to find out.
I would say that would probably. I would say maybe a stunt like that would people would probably call it ugly, but it would definitely pique interest and people would buy it. People would buy it. Like I don't know, like utilize the fruit. Utilize like the name and like probably the other fruits in like the category that like, goes off that like is called fruit. Do something. I don't know. Even make a pear pad also. I don't know. I think people would really buy that because Victorious pear pad. Yeah, people would buy. I pretty much think people would buy that. And yeah, it's like do something though. It's like I don't know, Apple. Yeah, Apple's not really doing anything. They're not really doing anything interesting or revolutionary. It's like I don't know. Shoot, make a banana phone or something. Nah, that's stupid. That is now that's really stupid. Do do something with the fruits with all the fruit category. I don't know. Make limited edition phones. Make like where it's like you like no one else can like be able to buy. No one else can be able to buy it or like I don't know. Make a something anything. I don't know. It just has to be something like it just has to be something interesting. I don't know. That's just me though. Utilize the name of your product first off and make Apple products. Literal Apple products in the shape of apples.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say that's I'm not gonna say that's a brilliant idea, but it's just like I don't know. It's a basic idea and maybe not make maybe not make the iPhones in the shape of apples, but like I don't know, make something in the shape of apples. I don't know, do something. But that's all I have to say about that. But in other news, first look at the new live-action Dora the Explorer. Now, if my memory serves me right, didn't they already make a live-action movie of Dora the Explorer?
That's what I was thinking. I thought there already is a live-action Dora the Explorer movie.
Yeah, it's like I saw the movie too. It was pretty good actually. I can't even it was pretty good. I don't even have any complaints about it. I saw it a couple of years ago. And yeah. But yeah, it's like shouldn't they call it Dora the Explorer? I mean, if it's just simply called Dora the Explorer, fine, but if they're going to make a second movie, shouldn't it be called Dora the Explorer 2
Does it say why not?
or I don't know. I don't know. It's like I just know that they definitely did make a Dora movie already, and I watched it. It was pretty. It was good. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Indeed, there is. Archaeologists find prehistoric artifacts at future skating rink site near Montreal.
Okay. Future skating rink. Okay, future skating rink. Like they're gonna make it to a skating rink.
Yes, at some point.
Okay. What did they find?
Last fall, archaeologists Yves Chrétien found prehistoric stones at a future hockey rink site northeast of Montreal in Sorel-Tracy, Quebec. The stones came from stratified marine sediment of the ancient Champlain Sea, which receded over 8,000 years ago, revealing a rare, little-known prehistoric period. The stones bear marks made by indigenous people between 6150 and 82,000 years ago, likely testing rocks for tool making while no finished tools or camps were found. The dig also uncovered 18th century artifacts like ceramics, clay pipes, and bottle pieces, but hopes for carbon dating based on the stones appear less promising.
I will say this: it's still amazing how we're still discovering things in 2025. It's definitely interesting how we're still discovering things in 2025. I mean, like things that we all obviously knew existed, but it's like I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that we have not stopped finding old stuff from centuries ago. I'm a little surprised. I mean, I would expect us to be a little bit tapped out by then, but it's like I don't know. Either they're just making these stories up, or we're actually finding things, things that we're actually finding things that, or finding things that occurred back then. Stones used as tool. You said stones used as tools.
Possibly.
Yeah, if so, then that's not surprising. It's actually not surprising. I mean, if stones are used as tools, then hey, then I would say that's great resourcefulness. I believe stones can still be used as tools today. But obviously we have modern day tools. But yeah, no. I'd say stones would be great. I'd say stones can still be used as great tools because unlike modern day tools, stones don't rust.
Exactly.
So yeah, stones don't rust. They might get old, and they might. I guess depending on depending on the stone that you use, it might eventually lose its edge a bit. But yeah, unlike modern day tools, stones do not rust. So I'd say actually making a hammer that looks exactly like the hammers of today out of stone. Huh. Nah. Yeah, no. It's all right. It's all right. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it's like I'd say it's just simply amazing how we haven't gotten tapped out yet. How the faucet is still running in terms of finding things that date us. It's amazing. Either that or they're just making this stuff up. I wouldn't put it past them to be making this stuff up.
Only time will tell if there's more on the story.
That's true. But is there anything else in the news?
Energy bills to drop for UK households by £129 after off-gem price cap change.
Interesting. Do you have any thoughts about this?
Well, although on one hand, it's great to see that energy bills are starting to get more affordable, but on the other hand, too little too late. Like, the damage is done. Things are more expensive now than they were 5 years ago.
That's true. Things definitely seem to be better than it once was, and progress is great progress. So ultimately speaking, can't really complain. You really can't complain. And all you can really do is be thankful that things are not getting worse or have not gotten worse yet. Yeah, that's really all you can do.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so it's like ultimately it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
That is true. So true. Is there anything else in the news?
Headwaters Group launches Aspendale brand to meet growing demand for active 55 plus living.
Okay, let's hear more about this.
Headwaters Group, a real estate owner and developer based in Denver, unveiled its Aspendale brand on May 22nd, 2025, aimed at active adults aged 55 and older throughout Colorado and the broader western region of the United States. The launch addresses a distinct gap in housing options between standard multi-family apartments and comprehensive senior living communities, responding to growing demand I driven by a demographic trend projecting the United States senior population to almost double by 2060. Aspendale provides age-restricted, fully amenitized, maintenance-free communities featuring carefully crafted residences, extensive lifestyle activities, and opportunities for active adults to connect with peers who share similar interests. The brand features fitness centers, creative art studios, pools, dining courtyards, and the Elevations by Aspendale Lifestyle program, which provides curated community events and private apartment homes with upgraded finishes.
Well, I will say this. This seems like a really good thing for older adults, and I hope it continues to get better and better. And I can't say that I really have a strong opinion about this, other than just it just sounds really good. There's not really much to say, and I do hope it's affordable to most people, and I just hope all in all, the older gentlemen and ladies enjoy it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
There should be. Just gonna find where it is. The United States will stop making pennies starting next year.
Yeah, when I told my mom that, she said, I guess I should keep my pennies then. Yeah, but how I feel about that is like, personally, I never used pennies, because I don't know, it's like, for some odd reason, whenever I had pennies in my pocket, I would have a bad day. I don't know why. It just happens. You know how people say pennies are supposed to be good luck?
Yes?
They were never good luck with me.
Huh.
And for
Interesting.
yeah, and for that, I just threw them away.
Dang. But
I
oh well.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I either threw them away or just gave them to someone else. I'm like, yeah, it's like I just never took them or just gave them to my mom. Obviously if she wanted them, but I'd mostly throw them away. Yeah, it's like but like I can't say it would affect much. I would say the only it would only affect the homeless, I suppose, because it's like I don't know. It's like pennies aren't much, but they're at least something. They're at least something though to kind of get you. I don't know what pennies can get you exactly, but I think if you like collect 100 of them or something, that totals to $1, right?
100 pennies is $1. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know. I don't think it's really gonna affect me that much, but it's like, dang, bro. It's like, dang, bro, you're just getting rid of pennies like that? I mean, it's like, I'm pretty sure other people use pennies, when they don't have enough change. Pennies are definitely useful in that aspect. So it's like, if they stop the production of pennies, then, well, unfortunate, but at the same time, certain things must come to an end. And I guess they chose it to be pennies. So it's like, what can you really do about it? Imagine if someone just like were protesting more pennies. Like they're just protesting about this whole situation. And I'll be honest, I guess for the sake of memory, I would probably save not that many pennies, but some pennies. I don't know. To just to show to my kids and be like, hey, this is what we used to use back in the day, or something like that. I don't know. That's what that's at least why I would save a penny. But who knows? Maybe it might be worth. Maybe if you save it, it might actually be worth something in the future. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's like my friend told me, it's like, if I save one of the Metro cards that were like, it might be worth something in the future. Which I'm not 100% sure about that, but I would only just save for the memory. But if it was worth something, I would want any future generation family members to just, I don't know, collect the money for however much it's worth. Cause shoot, be no point in keeping it if it's worth a lot. So
Very true.
yeah, so it's like, or just, I don't know, save it until it becomes even more valuable. But hey, that's just me though. And yeah,
Yeah.
ultimately speaking, yeah, pennies are no longer going to be in. They're no longer going to be made. Unfortunate, but also,
It will save the United States government loads of money if they don't produce pennies.
I suppose that's true. I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it costs more to produce a penny than the worth of the penny itself. That's a very common argument people make.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Like, Australia did this years ago. And look how well they're doing, even though the current government is. I'm not saying it's good, but it's also. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's also not as good most people are saying that they're going to out to be. But even then, Australia's in doing alright, to be honest.
Hey, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, it comes to show, like, a single difference can make a big impact.
But the real question is, what would the United States use that money for?
Well, they're not going to know until it's actually in there.
That's true. I mean, imagine if they just sent it all to another country, and I'm like, well, you could have used some of that money to, although it wouldn't have paid it off, put towards, I don't know, the debt, the huge debt that we owe. Trillions. I believe it's in the trillions, correct?
I'm certain it is in the trillions.
Yeah. You could put all that money you're saving to not produce pennies into the dollar trillion-dollar debt we owe. It would take decades to pay that off, but still.
Oh no, not decades. Maybe a century or two.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Risk?
Did you guys hear about the whole thing with Trump and that South African guy, president?
Yeah, I
No.
did.
What about it?
It was just funny, his reactions to it. Like, it's
Was
just
it about
funny how Ramaphosa was just effectively reacting to it. Like,
was it
the
about
guy would almost jump out of his seat at certain part.
was it about racial supremacy and all that?
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He was scared. He was. Yeah, it's funny. So what else is going on?
Yeah, I bet it was funny.
It was funny. So what else is going on?
We were just talking about how the pennies are gonna be no longer made.
Being made.
Well, it won't. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean we were just talking about how it's it would save them some money. It would save.
Realistically, why don't they just get rid of anything that's less than $10 note? There's no point in having a $5 note. There's no point in having a $10 note. Nothing's really. Most people use credit cards anyway now, so why not just get rid of anything under a £10 note, a $10 note? There's no point in even. I don't. Is there any much use for quarters now anyway?
I still use quarters.
Okay, so keep that then. Probably get rid of some notes as well. To be fair, who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's true.
So what?
So, is there anything else in the news?
Yep. Let's
Britain
see.
gave away the Chagos Islands, which was no reason we didn't have to give away that territory, and we're paying for the pleasure of it. He will be known as the PM that fricking sold our territory, sold our national, sold our
Well,
brotherhood.
that's unexpected. He just vanished.
Who did?
Bro, what was that?
I have no idea.
He just vanished.
He just vanished while he was talking about the Chagos Islands.
I'm
Bro,
here.
it's like is it just him that is he the only does this only happen to him?
Oh no, it's not just him. And not the only time either.
No. I mean, during this podcast, is he the only one who that this happens to?
Well, it happens most of the time. It happens to him, but it happens to us as well. Like, I
I'm
think there was
back.
one hello Risk.
Okay, was it the Wi-Fi or what was it?
God knows.
Okay.
All we know, might have just been trying to censor me.
Okay.
Chagos. So yeah, we're selling the Chagos, and there's no need for us to sell them, but we're selling them. UK just wants to sell our land. So what else is going on?
Disney sues YouTube, accuses competitor of poaching executive.
How can you sue someone for like Disney hasn't done this themselves?
So they would easily lose that.
Disney's they're saying they're mad that Disney's getting there. They're just mad that someone did it to them.
It's just petty.
They
Very, very petty.
they put so you're telling me out of all the time that Disney hasn't poached executives?
Disney
Walt
sues
Disney.
someone for poaching theirs.
Yes.
That is just embarrassing.
It's sad.
Like, you're telling me that frickin' wait, Mum, they're mad at this guy for them poaching this executive, yet they're not mad at Comcast for frickin' poaching some of their frickin' Imagineers for their theme parks. This is corporate business. This happens all the time. Yeah, they're having a fizzy fit over it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just It's really baffling, really.
The new Lilo and Stitch movie will probably do well economically.
Yeah, it has potential.
It'll do well. Families will go to it. Is it $1 billion worth? No. Will it do well?
It will
Yeah.
certainly make millions for sure.
It'll definitely make a couple 100 million, maybe 600 million, 700 million max. But that's still not going to get them out of the hole they're in.
Oh no,
Financially.
definitely not.
A couple wins is not a freaking thingy. Thunderbolts is not a win. Thunderbolts is not going to get you out of this hole. This movie ain't going to get you out of the hole. The amount of money they lost on Snow White is still not going to get one out of this one.
Yeah, Snow White
And they're
was
probably going to lose money in the Fantastic Four movie from what it looks like.
Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, they're making a Fantastic Four movie, but I'm pretty sure they haven't showed much of Mr. Fantastic, and it looks like it looks like they're going to be focusing more on the female angle on this one.
I'm not gonna lie. I played Fantastic Four before. That alone should get me excited, but I'm not excited about the movie.
That's the thing. Fantastic Four is probably not going to do that well.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Is there any movies in the year 2025 that are actually good?
The Marvel movie, the Minecraft movie wasn't great, to be honest, but it was acceptable to the everyday masses.
Yeah, I will say this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I heard this one song. Like, people were I don't know. I think people were going crazy about like something that was said in a movie, like Chicken Jockey or something like that.
Oh my gosh, chicken jockey.
I don't know why people were going so crazy about.
It's a part of if I remember correctly, it's something to do part of Minecraft's like culture. It's a big part of the game. I think.
Chicken
Wait,
Jockey.
oh no, mate. It's more than just part of the Minecraft culture. It was a trend. It was something started on TikTok. Everyone on TikTok started doing it because everyone was doing it. And then when the Minecraft movie came out, everyone yelled "Chicken Jockey," and they all lose their minds over it. And then it actually got so out of hand that then there was so many news stories nationally and globally discussing about the madness
Did
of the
pe-
movie
did people?
culture and the Minecraft community just
Wasn't there
regarding that.
people like making a mess in the cinema as well?
Yeah, did people crap in the cinema movie or something like that?
Oh no, it wasn't that bad. It's just people throwing the popcorn around and someone actually brought an actual chicken.
That sounds about right.
How did they sneak that in the movie? Okay,
People are still figuring that one out.
how
In a
did they
backpack.
sneak
In a backpack.
a whole chicken?
An entire chicken. And it's alive too.
In a backpack. Trust me, the staff don't care. They don't get paid enough to care.
Like people
You
didn't.
go to an independent studio, film studio cinema, but quite honestly, it's not one of the big main ones. Not Cineworld. They don't care. They don't check.
That's true. Yeah, I'll be honest.
I don't even think I don't even think they even check the tickets. They don't care. As long as you paid the money, they don't care.
I'm not gonna lie. I sneak food in the movie theater all the time. I don't think they really care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
I've taken freaking hot freaking sandwich. I've been able to. Certain points, I'm pretty sure I've even taken freaking bacon baps or something like that from a freaking from the supermarket. They don't care. I've taken Pringles.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I put it in my.
They don't get paid enough to care. If it was a main chain, then yeah, you probably would get more ticketed for it. But if it's a chain, but quite frankly, it's like a small chain, right? It's got a couple studios, a couple of freaking cinema screens. It's not a multinational chain. It's a smaller one.
Like it's like your. It's like in
They're
your.
not going to care. They don't as long as you pay for the fucking ticket. They're not.
Yeah,
going
if
to
it's
give
like
a fuck.
in your neighborhood.
They've got bigger problems.
It's like in your. Yeah, if it's like in your neighborhood, it's like they're not gonna care.
They don't care. But if it's a multinational chain like freaking like Oriental or like freaking or whatever, or like even AMC. The AMC, for example, AMC is probably one of them. That we probably would double check in that and check stuff. But even them, aren't they going bust or going out of business?
Dang, they are. That's sad.
I think they were almost going bankrupt in that, but I think they were able to pull it around.
Yeah, because I think when I go to the movie theaters, I do go to AMC. Yeah.
I think AMC is probably just. I think they were able to rebound, but I think at one point they were struggling.
Was this
A
during
lot
the?
of the movie studios are struggling because the movies, realistically, the movies they're having to rely on like reruns of old movies just so they can make money. Because the old stuff they're putting out, the stuff that Hollywood's putting out is just subpar of it. It's not freaking it's not profitable enough for them. They're having to release their own independent movies.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think AMC's even making their own movies,
I would.
funding creating their own movies just so they can get stuff working.
Yeah, I would also assume it's like in the next couple of years, movie theaters will not be a thing.
No, they'll be a thing, but they won't be as mainstream, and they'll be like the state.
They'll be like a glorified hangout if you want to get out of the house, which
Yes,
they kind of
malls
are.
will still malls won't be as mainstream as they are now. They'll be in certain locations, certain cities, and I mean they'll be in certain cities. They'll be in certain places. They're nowhere near as going to be as big as and popular as they once were. They'll be in certain cities. They'll be in certain things, and there'll be certain things in them. There will no certain malls will survive. Strip malls and that probably won't survive. Some might survive, but who knows? So what else is there?
I think that's us.
Okay.
All right, peace.